Hello everyone, welcome to our platform. Excuse me for the lighting. The natural light is dying, but I still wanted to film, so I thought we'll take advantage of the little natural lighting that we have here. For those of you who don't know me, here is Nadia, and today we're gonna talk about how to be rich. I did this video as well on my Spanish channel called Soy Millonaria for those of you who speak Spanish or want to practice Spanish. And I thought I will do it here as well because it's a very, very important topic. And actually, this topic, it really summarizes all the teachings about becoming a millionaire, becoming rich, becoming wealthy, and really being successful in life, which is all what boils down to it, being successful in life, however your definition of success is, right? And it's focus, discipline, and obsession. If you want to achieve anything in life, many of you who are watching this video, you have been to school, right? University, you have gotten a degree, or maybe you did a trade, right? And you got training, you got a specialized training, and you went to companies, you did your internships, all of this work, right? So as you can see, you were intentional, even though you may think, oh well, I had to, it was part of my curriculum. Yes, it was a system that was already put in place for you to be successful, right, in your education. So when it comes to being rich, because we are not taught, right, at universities, at our formative years, really how to be rich, because we are not taught that. We have to teach it to ourselves, as grown-ups. And if you have children, you can teach it to your children. But the truth is that because we are not taught, we think that people just get rich, just working for others, which is quite rare, if you are in IT. And even IT today is not what it used to be. IT, banking, those were the industries where you could become rich, by working for others. But in most cases, you need to work for yourself, right? And for you really to work for yourself and to be successful, you need to be obsessed about that you are using, that you are putting in as a service to humanity, so that you become rich, so that you become more knowledgeable, and that you can reach more people. There is no secret formula to becoming rich, other than having taking a purpose, taking something that can be your purpose, and just being obsessed with it and working night and day. And working doesn't mean just necessarily working. It can be just reading a book, and taking notes, while you're reading that book. It doesn't mean always like doing transactions, business transactions. It can be reading a book on the topic. It can be listening to podcasts while you are at the gym, for instance, listening to podcasts of those people who are already where you want to be. Normally when we are exercising at the gym, what are we doing? We are listening to our famous to our music, the music that we like. And so why don't you listen a postcard about money? Listen to Tony Robbins, listen to Cardone, the family, Cardone. Listen to anyone, who has already made it. Everyone who is a millionaire, who is a billionaire. Bill Gates, he says that when he was working on creating, and establishing Microsoft, he when he was driving, he decided to take away the radio from his car, because he didn't want to have anything at all that will distract his mind from thinking about Microsoft, about how he could grow the company, how he could grow the business, how he could develop the company, have their new ideas, because everything that he wanted to do, and everything that he was thinking day and night, was Microsoft, 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 Microsoft. So that's the same with us. Whatever we want to do in our lives, whatever we want to achieve, we just have to be obsessed with that thing. look at athletes, professional athletes. They've done all day. Ballerina, like ballet dancers. They've done it all day. The ballet dancers, they were not doing ballet and they were not doing, lifting weights and then doing yoga, da, 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 da. They were from morning to evening, 10, 11 days a day. Pa, 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 ballet, 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 ballet. And if they were younger because they were in school, what were they doing? They would just go to school, do their homework, and then do ballet, 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 ballet. They were not doing other hobbies, They were not playing. Many times they were not playing with their neighbors, with their neighbors' friends, They were going to the ballet stretch. Even the people who played piano, people especially who have done sports and even classical things, they know this. They know. They just all that they think about, all that they breathe, everything that they eat and breathe is just breathe and breathe. It's just that thing that they are being trained to be. I mean, that's why we then see ballet dancers, we see elite people, and we're like, wow, 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 they have such a discipline. Pianists, pianists, they wake up at 6 in the morning, they do a little bit of physical exercise, 7 in the morning, and playing the piano until 7 p.m. And then they have they have dinner, and then maybe they keep playing until 3 p.m. and until 3 p.m. until 11 p.m. and then they go to sleep, and the next day repeating again, again, again. And there are no rest days. There are no break days. You know that, guys. You know that these people, pianists, ballet dancers, or Bill Gates, people who are entrepreneurs, they don't have the rest day. The rest day comes later, Later, once you have achieved your goals, then you can rest. But until then, we don't rest, Until then, we don't have a Sunday day, which is a pause, We may have days, when we are less productive than more productive than in other days when we are more or less productive. That's completely normal. But every day we are there. The ballet dancers, they may have a day, where, they don't have such a good class, they may be less concentrated. But that happens to all of us. Even if you study like an engineering degree or math degree, you went to university. There were days, when you will be there in front of the teacher and you will, do like you were listening, but still you were there. You went to class, you took notes, you did your exams. There were times when maybe you didn't do a good exam, you didn't study soon enough, and then you had to start studying until late, and then you're like, you know what, I'm not going to study anymore because otherwise I'm not going to make it, to the exam. I will be tired, and then maybe you didn't get such a good grade, right? But you were still there, you were still practicing, you were still obsessed with that thing that you were trying to achieve, which was in this case probably a degree, right? You know that I want to get this degree I want to get this degree in 4 years, and you will studying and studying, hustling and hustling and hustling. So that's what we have to do, actually, with whatever we want to, with YouTube. Even what is this guy, Mr. Beast? What does Mr. Beast say? He says that since the age of 11, he decided that he wanted to be a YouTuber. And what was he doing? Every day he was thinking about YouTube. Every day he was on YouTube. He was on YouTube playing games. He was on YouTube educating himself and how to make the better videos. Every day. He will wake up, he will think about YouTube. He will go to bed and he will think about YouTube. Everything that he will do was YouTube. It was not that his life was here and YouTube was here. No, everything, his life was YouTube. And this is the life of all successful people. If we see like people like this woman, right, from Vogue, the director of Vogue, what's the name? Anne something, director of Vogue, all these model people, their life is modeling. Like even the models that they start like with the age of 16, 14, it's just modeling. They go to school, the minimum, finish the mandatory school, and then it's just modeling, going agency after agency, taking pictures, boom, 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 boom. The models, they work a lot, and everything that they just think about is about modeling. And this woman, the leader of Vogue, right? The Vogue is British, right? And there is this director, this Anna something. I think she now won something special, a special prize. I think I saw it in I think Naomi Campbell published something in her Instagram. I didn't read it completely, but I think it was a praise for something that she did. But that woman, everyone knows, she's the leader of Vogue, and all her life it's Vogue, 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 Vogue. Yes, she has a daughter. I think she was married before. She has a bride. Who knows? Maybe it was because she worked too much. And so that what I'm trying to say, those people who have, who achieve something and have already wives and husband and children, all their life has a husband and children, all revolves around all their hobbies, around that thing that they're trying to accomplish, all their life it's like that. And we like to see all these YouTubers successful, oh, they have millions of subscribers making a lot of money, and then we wonder how they did it. Just working hard, just being obsessed. We need to be obsessed, guys, with whatever we want to achieve. It will be very, very hard, if we don't get obsessed with something and we don't achieve it. We've seen people who are like not very attractive, but then they want really to become attractive. They start going to the gym, they start taking care of their hair, of everything, and then they're like, after 6 months or 9 months, it's like, wow, you're the same person, because they become obsessed. They were just about dieting, going to the gym, looking how they can be pretty, looking, doing this treatment, how can you do this, do that, and this it's just like that. There's no other secret. So whatever is your vehicle, whatever you have decided to take as a service for humanity, to help humanity and to help yourself and be rich by granting an excellent service, whatever it is, just be obsessed about it. And once you have achieved it, then you're okay, you can relax a little bit. You can have your Sundays free if you want to, maybe a couple of hours on Sunday. But once you have achieved it, don't you know celebrate. Don't become so workaholic that you don't stop and you don't enjoy life. But until then, until you need to achieve it, you have just to study. You hustle. Is like when we were at the university, when we were getting, maybe doing exams, to go to university. What were we doing? Just study. And then once we finish, okay, now I can have a free day. But until then, we didn't have free days. We didn't have free Sundays, free holidays, free nothing. This is how it is, guys. There is no shortcut. Many of us, we want shortcuts to achieve things, but there are no shortcuts. Okay, so I hope you like this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.